Guys, this topic is very relevant for all students of UG and PG classes. Guys, in this session, first of all, we discuss about the historical background of the Romantic era, and then after we will discuss about the romantic features of the Romantic era. And finally, we discuss about the major writers and their works. So guys, before discussing about the historical background of the Romantic era, we must know about what is Romantic movement. And what do you know about Romanticism? Guys, it was a reaction against the spread of industrialization as well as criticism of the aristocratic social and political norms and call for more attention to nature. Guys, this movement was strongly embodied in visual arts, music, and literature, and it was also was associated with liberalism and radicalism. So, guys, we can say that Romantic movement is an artistic, literary, and intellectual movement, partly a reaction to industrial revolution. Guys, now we discuss about the historical background of the Romantic era. Guys, the timeline of the Romantic era is 1798 AD to 1837 AD. Guys, this era begins with the publication of William Wordsworth and Samuel Coleridge's lyrical ballads in 1798, and it ends with the accession of Queen Victoria. Guys, during the Romantic era, George III was the King of England. Guys, Romanticism coincided with the revolution in France and in America. Guys, now we discuss that what were the reasons behind the Romantic era. So guys, come on the topic and we read that these are the most important reasons behind the Romantic era. First of all, the European war. Guys, at the end of the 18th century, England and France engaged in European war, and enmity between them continued till 1815. Guys, at the end of the war, there was extinction of the French Republic, rise and fall of the power of Napoleon, and the restoration of Byron dynasty. So that's how the French Revolution came to end. Guys, second reason is that industrial revolution. Guys, during the Romantic era, the industrial revolution also started. And due to industrial revolution, there were many side effects such as pollution, materializations, child labor, dehumanizations of labor. Guys, third reason is that social conditions. Guys, the end of the long war between England and France resulted in low wages, heavy taxation, and unemployment. Guys, due to long war, the France and England's people were in really poor condition because of the unemployment and heavy taxations. Guys, moreover, there was the massacre of Waterloo and riots over the Reform Bill of 1832 that resulted in a lot of chaos. Guys, these are the main reasons behind the Romantic era. Guys, now we discuss about the what were the literary features of the Romantic era. So guys, the term romantic was first used by the German poet Friedrich Hegel, who defined Romanticism as literature depicting emotional matter and is an imaginative form. Guys, you know that the writers of neoclassical age gave importance of rationality and reason and rationality, whereas the writers of the Romantic era gave the importance of emotions, passions, and individuality. Guys, third literary features of this era is The writing works of neoclassical era are impersonal, whereas the works of romantic era are more subjective and personal in nature. Guys, now we discuss the literary features of the romantic poetry. So guys, this era is called an age of poetry. Guys, simple and plain language was used. Guys, the poet of the romantic era believed that simple and plain language because is written while writing because they wrote for the common people. Therefore, didn't use flowery language, tough language like the writer of the enlightened age. They always think that writing will be written in the simple and plain language. Guys, next is the principal concerns was nature, landscape, and beauty. Guys, the romantic poets idealized rural life. They believed that the nature was a place of spiritual truth. In order to they connected the humanity in this hustle bustle of city life, they need to connect with nature. Fourth is the poems often represented the working out of the poetic theory itself. Next, concerned with the inner self, the poems are mainly explorations of the mind. Next, dreams, childhood, and innocence were common themes. Guys, at that time, say S.P.C. Coleridge uses the dreams, childhood, and innocence themes are used by S.P.C. Coleridge, William Wordsworth, and William Blake. Next is heavy symbolism was used. Guys, William Blake is considered most important poets of who used heavy symbolism in his poetry. Next, adapted myths and images from several non-European cultures. Guys, William Blake adapted different myths and images from several non-European cultures. Guys, next is the influence of the French Revolution and other political events was visible. Guys, that time the French Revolution was onwards, so its effect is seen every works of the Romantic era and every poet's feelings and emotions gained the center stage. Guys, you know that the Romantic era was a revolt against the logic and rationalism of the Enlightenment age. Therefore, the feelings and emotion gained the center stage of the Romantic era. Next, imaginations was celebrated. Guys, you can see in the some poems of Romantic era, such as Coleridge's Christabel, there during the Romantic age. It is because in Christabel there was supernatural elements. Guys, Coleridge also coined the term willing suspension of disbelief so that readers can enjoy reading about supernatural elements in literature. Free verse was used. Guys, the Romantic poets was used free verse for free flow of words. The Romantic age poets didn't like using strict poetic meter such as heroic couplets, which have used as evidence by the poets of the Enlightenment is such as Alexander Pope. So guys, these are the literary features of the Romantic poetry. Now we will discuss about the major Romantic poets and their works. Guys, Romantic poets are divided into two groups. First generation of poets included William Blake, William Wordsworth, and Coleridge. Second generation of poets are Lord Byron, P.B. Shelley, and John Keats. So guys, first of all, we must know about William Blake. Guys, William Blake, greatest English poet after Milton. He was deeply interested in philosophy and theological debates of the time. Guys, he wrote deeply symbolic poetry which often difficult to comprehend. Guys, his works are Poetical Sketches, which was published in 1783. The Songs of Innocence. Guys, it is a collection of poems and appears most important poem in it. Guys, it was published in 2 phases. In this collection of poems, the poet describes that this world of innocence is very happy, joy, and describe about there are pleasures and different types of the elements which describe about the human beings. In it, there are so many poems which are introduction, infant sorrow, nursery songs, the garden of love, the chimney sweepers, the cold and the feeble, holy Thursday. Next, there is no natural religions, which was published in 1788. The French Revolution, which was published in 1791. The Marriage of Heaven and Hell, which was published in 1793. The first book of Eurygen, which was published in 1794. Songs of Experience, which was published in 1794. Guys, this poem is more complex and pessimistic. In this poem, the poet says that the world of experience is full of cruelty and injustice. Guys, you know that this is collections of poems. So there are many poems in it. Are learn out of them, the most important poems is London, which prescribed in the syllabus of the Rajasthan University and Rajasthan University and various universities of Rajasthan. Guys, next poet we have William Wordsworth. Guys, he was a poet, philosopher, and he also known as a priest of nature. Guys, in 1794, he met the poets Coleridge at the Devon Somrest. Guys, along with Coleridge produced lyrical ballads in 1798, which is marked the beginning of the Romantic era. Guys, he was poet laureate from 1843 to 1850. Guys, his most important works is Descriptive Sketches, which was published in 1793, Lyrical Ballads, which was published in 1798. Guys, Lyrical Ballads is a collection of William Wordsworth and S.P.C. Coleridge's poems. It was first published in 1798 and generally considered to have marked the beginning of the English Romantic movement in literature. Guys, next at the Excursion, which was published in 1814. Next, Peterwell, 1819. The Prelude, 1850. Guys, Prelude is an incomplete work which is written in 14 books. Guys, it is an autobiographical poem. Now, guys, his most important poems are Daffodils, Ode to Duty, Lucy, Rainbow, Solitary River, Ode to Duty. Guys, next poet we have Taylor Coleridge. Guys, S.P.C. Coleridge was an English poet, literary critic, philosopher, and theologian who, with his friend William Wordsworth, published Lyrical Ballads in 1798. Guys, he was also a member of the Lake Poets. He coined many familiar words and phrases, including suspension of disbelief. Guys, suspension of disbelief, sometimes called willing suspension of disbelief. Guys, what is suspension of disbelief? Guys, what do you know about willing suspension of disbelief? Guys, it is the intentional avoidance of critical thinking or logic in examining something unreal or impossible in reality. Guys, in order to believe it for the sake of enjoyment, guys, it is called suspension of disbelief. Guys, the poetry of S.T. Coleridge is characterized by the supernatural elements in his poetry. Mostly poems of him are written in his dream. Guys, his most important poems are poems on various subjects, which was published in 1796, Lyrical Ballads, which was published in 1798, Christabel, Kubla Khan, A Vision the Pains of Sleep, which was published in 1816, Fears in Solitude, which was published in 1798, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Guys, he also wrote Biography Literaria, which is a literary critical works. 7 lectures upon Shakespeare and Milton, which was published in 1856, Table Talk, which was published in 1835. Guys, S.T. Coleridge also which are Remorse, a tragedy in 5 acts. Guys, Remorse is a drama which is a tragedy or written in 5 acts. The Fall of Robespierre, a historical drama which was published in 1794. Guys, next point we have George Gordon Byron. He was a poet, painter, and a politician. He was influenced by the French revolutions. Guys, his first collection of poetry is Hours of Idleness, which was published in 1807. Guys, his most important work are Child Harold's Pilgrimage, 1812 to 1818. Guys, Child Harold Pilgrimage, written in 4 cantos, Cantos 1 and 2 published in 1812, Canto 3 published in 1816. Guys, it is a autobiographical, semi-autobiographical poem, and it was written in search for entity, poetic travel of the poet. Guide. Next is Majappa, which was published in 1819. Next is The Prophecy of Dante, which was published in 1819. Next is The Vision of Judgment. Prometheus, which was published in 1816. Beppo, which was published in 1880. Manfred, 1817. Cain, 1820. Heaven and Earth, 1821. Guys, he also wrote the dramas. As most of the famous drama of it is Manfred. It is a groom-laden drama which appears to be a parody of Gothic's first. Guys, next point we have Percy Bysshe Shelley. Guys, renowned revolutionary poet. He was expelled from Oxford University for circulating a pamphlet, The Necessity of Atheism, in 1811. He married with Mary Shelley. He rejected religious and moral sanctions of the times. He was influenced by the radical philosophy of William Godwin. He was well known for shorter poems and odes. Guys, most of important works of him are The Necessity of Atheism, which was published in 1811. For it, he expelled from Oxford University for circulating this pamphlet. Guys, Queen Mab, which was published in 1813. This poem was composed in the tradition of irregular ode. Next is Alostar. Subtitle of is that The Spirit of Solitude, which was published in 1815. This poem was written in blank verse, expresses Shelley's endless love for wandering in search of a dream girl who is the model of beauty. And next is Leon and Cynthia, 1817, Revolt of Islam, 1817, The Sensi, 1819, Or to the West Wind, 1819, The Mask of Anarchy, 1819, Prometheus Unbound, 1820, it is a drama in 4 acts, to Skylar, 1820. A Defense of Poetry, which was published in 1821. Guys, it is written in the response to Peacock's 4 Ages of Poetry. Guys, next poets we have John Keats. Guys, Keats was one of the later Romantic poets who interest in mythology and love for nature combined in poetry, famous for odes. Guys, he introduced the concept of negative capability. Guys, what do you know about negative capability? Guys, negative capability is when man is capable for being uncertainties, mysteries, doubts, without any irritable doubts, without any irritating reaching after fact and reasons. It is called negative capability. Guys, first poem published, he published his first poems with the help of Leigh Hunt in Examiner on Solitude. Next, guys, his most important works are poems. It is a collection of poems which was published in 1817. Endymion, a poetic romance, which was published in 1818. Guys, Endymion was Keats' first works, which although immature and imperfect, it has flashes of beautiful and charming lines in it, like a thing of beauty is joy forever. Next is La Bella Dame Sans Mercy, or to Nightingale, or to Ottomans, or to Grecian aunts, or to Psyche, or to Melancholy. Guys, John Keats famous for odes. Guys, his other poems are Hyperion, which was published in 1818. Guys, it is a philosophical poems in Miltonic blank verse, which remained unfinished at his death. Next, guys, in Lamia, he described a pentameter couplet, the Ave of Saint Agnes. Guys, in it is a medieval romance, fragments in Spencerian stanza. Guys, Ode to Grecian Urn, the poet, the lines of the poems are very famous, is that beauty is truth and truth is beauty. Guys, next point. Now we have minor poets of the Romantic era, such as Robert Southey, George Crabbe, John Crabbe, Thomas Campbell, William Cowper, Robert Burns. Now we will discuss about the features of the Romantic fiction. Guys, there were several forms, many of them overlapping epistolary romance, such as Gothic, historical, etc., etc. Continued the earlier ages of fiction of sensibility. Guys, in this era, philosophical novels or novels of ideas were popular. In different, some evangelical and moral tales were published. Guys, the authors of that times explored the Gothic tradition, which describe the darker aspects of the human nature. Later strands included historical fictions and historical romances in that era. During that era, local fictions were very popular. Local novels, they are related from Ireland and Scotland, provided glimpses into their particular cultures and history. Guys, novels in Romantic age. Guys, due to Romantic age, Gothic novels were very popular. These novels took shape in the late 18th century. Guys, the word Gothic derived from Goth. Goth is one of the German tribes that invaded the Roman. Guys, in the Gothic novels, the stories of fear, horror, and the supernatural. Guys, these novels represent the darker sides of human nature. Guys, Gothic literature includes terror, mystery, the supernatural, ghosts, haunted houses, and Gothic architectures, castles, death, decay, madness, secrets, and heredity curses. Guys, the first Gothic novels was Horace Walpole's Castle of Otranto, which was published in 1765. Now we discuss of the Gothic novelist Anna Radcliffe, pioneer of the Gothic novels. She portrays the heroines as the victim of a male-dominated society. Guys, her most famous work is The Mysteries of Udolpho, which was published in 1791 and written in 4 volumes. Guys, her other works includes The Italian, The Romance of the Forest. Now, next novelist is that Matthew Gray Lewis. He was also a Gothic novelist, and guys, the separations of his parents had adverse impact on him, and he never married. He wrote his popular Gothic novel, The Monk, which was published in 1794. It is a sensational story of the rape and incest. Guys, about the monk, the Coleridge says, the monk is romance, which if parents saw the hand of son or daughter, he might reasonable turn pale. William Godwin. Guys, William Godwin was philosopher, atheist, and novelist. His works are Inquiry Concerning Political Justice, which was published in 1793. Guys, in this book, he argued that as long people acted rationally, they things as they are. Next work is that Things as They Are. Guys, the subtitles of this is that Caleb Williams. Guys, it presented individual as victim of society and condemned the political systems. Criticism of English. Guys, it is a criticism of English society. Guys, Caleb declares is that a country of liberty where thousand languished and haters. Now we take Mary Wollstonecraft. She is a feminist writer. She attempted to show how women of all classes are oppressed by English patriarchal system. Guys, her most important work is The Wrongs of Women, which was published in 1798. Guys, she was a feminist response to Thomas Paine's epochal tract, The Right of Man. Guys, Mary, who is a character in this novel, who is forced into asylum by her husband George, is Wollstonecraft's symbols middle class woman who is wronged. Vindictions of Rights of Women, which was published in 1792. Detective novels. Guys, during the Romantic era, detective novels were also popular. Guys, what do you know about detective novels? What are the detective novels? Guys, detective novels, in novels that is detective aims to teach us some things, what, well, anything really. Guys, detective novels often have morals to impart or return to teach us some things about real. about religious philosophy, history, or politics of that times. Guys, who were the detective novelists that times? They are Fanny Burney. In her novels, she debates about women and property, marriage, and